Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Living Life Naturally podcast. And of course, you'll get all the latest news and good tips to do with women in midlife, whether you're in menopause, perimenopause, whether you've had a hysterectomy, we cover it all. And today I have with me Robin Stoloff, and she's got some incredible background here that I want to share with you. She does her tagline is empowering you to live a healthier life, but it's not just her tagline, it's also her life's mission. So what I think is really interesting, she's a former television reporter for the NBC affiliate in Atlantic City with over 30 years of experience on TV. She currently hosts a radio show called Living Well with Robin Stoloff, and that's a mix of short interviews, music, and bite-sized tips. And since listeners and viewers have busy lives, which we all know that, she does the research for them and gets expert gifts, gives information that will help them learn more and live better. So our lifestyle choices are key to longevity and happiness. And she's proud to be an advocate for healthy living. So I'm so excited to have you here, Robin. Welcome to our
Oh, thank you so much for
podcast.
having me, Lynn. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah. So not only do you look the part for a TV reporter, but before we get into the nitty-gritty of health, I would love to know how you enjoyed that type of job.
I absolutely loved it. It
Mm.
has been my life's mission. I've been active in fitness and sports since about 19 years old. And when I had the opportunity to become a health reporter for the NBC affiliate in Atlantic City, I really could, I had to pinch
Yeah,
myself because to me, it was just the greatest thing.
yeah,
And I put together a program that really tried to focus on people just making, lifestyle changes, small little changes along the way that can improve their lives and help them to feel better and live better.
absolutely. So do you still dabble in that, or have you totally gone to
No, no.
fitness?
Unfortunately, my TV station went off the air about 10
Oh,
years ago. Yes, it was a small market station. And as we know, big corporations are gobbling everything up. And it just was unfortunate that it happened. So I was very lucky to get a position with a local radio group, which is actually a big radio group that I basically do the same thing I did on television on the radio, on my
mm,
radio show, and a segment I have called Health Update, which are short little snippets. And I'm thankful to be able to still do
mm,
what I love to do, which is
yeah.
empowering people to live a healthier life.
Yeah, yeah. I had an opportunity to do quite a bit in radio and TV probably about 7, 8 years ago. And to me, it was always very exciting. I loved doing it. I loved the fact that you could get the word out more to people. And I think it's so important when we think about women as we get into midlife over 50. It's important for them to know how important health is at that stage in the game.
Absolutely. And not just that age. I mean, I teach a workout class. I still do it. I've been doing it since about 19 or 20 years old. And I have sometimes young girls in my class. And I always joke to them, I've been teaching longer than you've been alive because they're in their 20s and I've been teaching for almost 40 years. And I always say, start as young as you can. You can
Yes.
start at any age, but if someone's listening and they're in their 20s or 30s, start, get moving, keep your body moving, stay active, watch what you eat. All of it adds up. And as we get
Yes.
older, it really, it hits home a lot more because your body unfortunately doesn't repair itself like it used to when we were younger. So the more you can
Yes.
do to establish a good base, the better.
Yeah. And I'm so blessed because half of my family, at least, have kind of listened to what I've had to say over the last 10 and a half years as a health um, coach. And to me, that's wonderful because I didn't know any better till I was well into my 40s. And when I think back about some of the things that I did with my body, I am so thankful that I'm in as good health as I am. I'm realizing, of course, at this stage in life, we could have another 40 years the way things are now, and we want to stay healthy, mobile, and
Absolutely. But
yes.
you need to be smart about it. I probably played tennis 4 or 5 times a week when I was younger. I would still love to be able to do that, but
Mm,
my body just doesn't respond the way it used to. So now I have
yes.
to intersperse it with maybe I walk that day, maybe I do yoga, maybe I stretch. And it does balance it out a little bit more, where I have to say when I was younger, I probably was just hard hitting all the time and didn't
Mm,
take that time for the
mm.
other part of it, the flexibility, the stretching that's so necessary. And I wish someone had told me that back then.
Right, right. Absolutely. I'm so with you. I was a runner and I stopped doing that. I mean, your knees just get to the point where they really don't want to do it very well
Yes. There's
anymore.
only so many
So,
miles you can put on
yeah,
them, right?
yeah. But what I want to ask you really is about the mental and the physical benefits of fitness, of weight training, and especially as we get into that 50 mark and above.
Yes, well, I'm sure your listeners and viewers have heard of the word sarcopenia. It's a lousy word, and it's basically muscle loss and strength as we get older. It really starts in our 30s, but it accelerates as we get older. And I always say, I'm going down swinging. I am not accepting it. I'm going to do everything I can to try to, I don't know if you can say avoid it, but you can certainly slow it down a lot. And that's where weight training comes in. That's such an important thing. And I know so many gyms now have incorporated that for women because many
Mm.
women still are. I shouldn't speak for everyone, but there are some women that feel a little uncomfortable going into a weight room with guys lifting heavy weights. So some of the classes that are out there now incorporate weights, and that's what I teach because I think it's really important for our bones and keep our bones strong, and also our muscles, and to really fight that muscle loss and strength loss as we get older because that affects our function. And it's funny when I was in my 20s and I used to teach class, I was like more about like I wanted to keep my waist lean and I wanted a good butt. Not that I don't now, but I really think about function. I really think about walking up and down steps, getting up out of a chair. I know that sounds stupid and silly
It's
to
not
some
though.
people who may not have an issue with that, but as we get older, our balance, there's so many things that happen in our bodies. And it's shocking in a way. You always have this mentality of you're a young person because you never
Yes,
were old
yes.
before. You never experienced that. And as things start to kind of go, you go, wow, what happened to me? Your energy, everything. So I just feel like I want to do everything I can as far as what I eat, as far as the choices I make to try to live my best life. And I love
Yes.
being able to talk to other people about that because it's really ultimately up to us. There are some things we cannot control, but there are a lot of things that we can. And we're only going around once. This is not a dress rehearsal.
Yes.
So why not live your best life? Why not do everything you can to make yourself feel good, and not just physically, as you mentioned, mentally. They just came out with a study that people who suffer with depression feel a lot better, and I don't know if you want to say cure, but can reduce the symptoms of depression through exercise. And I thought
Mm.
they needed a study for that. I could have told them that 30 years ago. I mean, it always makes you feel better. It releases endorphins. You feel great. I've never left the gym or a workout and said, oh, I wish I didn't do that. That was horrible. You always feel great. But the hard part is getting your sneakers on. I say that all the time.
Yes.
Get your sneakers on and get moving. And if you can't do it on your own, make an appointment with someone, use a trainer, get a friend, try to make it so that you have an obligation. Make it an obligation because once you step in and start doing it, you will feel great. You'll never regret it. You never will
Yeah.
regret it. So make it
Yeah.
something you can't get out of, and you have to do it. And believe me, you'll always feel great afterward.
Yeah. I know so many people who, even into their 70s, are so active. And I think it's awesome that, it's still the benefits that you feel as you age.
It's
But
amazing. And you see people who do that and they look and feel 20 years younger than they are.
mm,
They're doing things that sometimes people half their age aren't doing. I still play tennis. I play tennis with a woman who's in her 80s and she still
wow.
runs all over the court. She's amazing to me. And I'm like, you're my idol. I hope I can do that. someday, when I'm closer to that age. But I get amazed by that. And she's
Mm.
been doing it for a long time. And it's just her body, over time is just, gotten used to being active. And I think that's fantastic. It's a
Yes.
gift you give yourself. It really is,
Yes.
Lynn.
So when it comes to weight training, how often should midlife women do
Well, if
that?
you're just starting, you don't want to jump in and work out 5 days a week. You're going to be sore. You're going to hate it. You don't want to do that. But maybe start with like 2 days a week. 2 days is a good, just get a base, maybe half an hour to 40 minutes. You don't have to go crazy. There's a million and one videos online. I mean, today it's so different. When we were
Yes.
growing up, we didn't have the
Yeah.
internet. We didn't have everything. You had to go buy a tape and put it in, right?
Yes.
Now it's so different. There's access everywhere. So there should be no excuse. Although let me just put a caveat in that. Make sure that, the person is certified, that they're doing appropriate exercises. There's a lot of people that might not. So if something doesn't feel right, probably not for you. But
Mm.
try to find somebody maybe who is in your age category, who gets it. Sometimes it's hard to work out with somebody who is in their 20s. If you're 60 and they're jumping all over the place and doing all this crazy stuff, maybe that's not the person for you. So pick the person that's right for you, or go to the gym or get a trainer. Learn how to do it appropriately, because you can unfortunately get hurt
Nice.
if you
Yeah.
do things that too much weight, overdo it. But when you learn to do it right and you build, your body adjusts. It's a miraculous thing. It's a miracle, really. Our bodies are miracles.
Yes.
And I always tell my class, over COVID, I started with push-ups because I was like, I'm not really teaching or going out, and I need to do something. So I started push-ups, and I probably started with 10 and 15. And then by the end of it, I was doing 25, boom, 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 nothing, no big deal. Why? Because I did it. And I tell my class that all the time, because I did it. My body adapted, it adjusted, it got better. And that's how it's really a miracle. So if you want to do push-ups, start doing push-ups, and then you'll get better and better at them. If you want to run, start running. If you want to walk, start walking. Whatever you want to do, just start. And the same with weights. Take it easy, get started slowly. You'll get stronger. You'll add more weight. You can add more time in the gym or in your home, whatever you want to do. Couple pairs of dumbbells, maybe a bench. That's all you need. And I could show you 50 exercises you could do with those things.
Mm. So it's always important for people, if they're doing weights, to watch a video or go to the gym, get some good guidance on what's the best way to do it, because we want to avoid injury and we want to make the most out of
Absolutely. That's what
out.
I think when I'm teaching is I'm trying to be like a doctor, do no harm. The first thing a doctor is supposed to do no harm. So if I have an option of doing an exercise or a move, two different ways, and one of those ways is not as safe, maybe, maybe not, maybe a little more stress on your back, and the other one isn't, I'm going to pick the one that's easier on our bodies. It's still getting the effect of it, but not, taking a chance and in
Mm.
injuring ourselves. So my first thing is I don't want anyone injured in my class. So that's what I think about the most. I don't do any impact. And I always joke and say, your heart doesn't know. If you kick your legs up and touch your toes, or if you reach over your head and you do big squats, kind of fast without jumping, your heart rate will go up, and your knees don't get the impact. You're not killing yourself. I used to do impact, but
Mm.
as I've gotten older, I realized it's
Mm.
not, I don't think it's important. I really don't. I think getting your heart rate up is important, but you can do it without jumping. And so that's what I do in my class.
Mm. So, do you have some tips? I know you said always have your gym shoes available, but
Mhm.
how do people stay motivated to stick with a workout routine?
It's really a hard thing because let's just say this: our society is not built around being fit or eating healthy.
Mm.
You have to swim upstream. It really is very sad to me.
It is.
The preservatives in our food, the packaged goods, the quick, easy, on the run eating at fast food places. It's just complete and utter, can I just say crap? It's crap. And we're
It
putting it in our
is.
bodies. It's garbage. Stop it. Just stop that. I mean, that's the first thing. Take a look at what you're eating, because I mean, it's important. to exercise and move your body, but what we put into our bodies is so important. I mean,
Yeah.
not that I don't eat an ice cream cone every now and then. Like, come on, we can't be live like monks, but it doesn't have to be, we should not be eating that garbage. Really try to eat fresh, whole foods. Prepare your meals if you can. I mean, I know people are busy, but take the time. If you have to do it on a Sunday and prepare food in advance and
Mm.
have it for the week, this is your life. This is an investment in you. And just start to think about, wow, if I do this, I will start to feel better. I might drop some weight, that can be the byproduct of it. I mean, most
Mm.
people are, trying to lose weight for the appearance or maybe for how they feel, but the health of eating healthy foods, feeling the energy from it and just feeling better from it. I think to me, that's kind of the first step. And try to avoid things if maybe go to a bar or at a party or things like that. And they're serving, something where you can reach in the bowl and the chips and the be cognizant of those things. Maybe you don't position yourself or you position yourself away from, the bowl of peanuts or something. So all those little things add up, and just always think in terms of, is this the best choice for me, for my health, for living better? There's a lot of good food out there that's delicious that
Mhm.
we don't need to eat hoagies and cheesesteaks and, fattening stuff, all the time, every now and then. But I'll tell you what, I eat pretty clean. And when I eat something like that, it sits in my stomach. I don't even like the
Yes.
way I feel. I don't even like it.
Yes.
So that's the first step. But the second thing is move your body, move in some way. We were not meant to sit still. I have two herniated discs and a pinched nerve, and it's been, a little painful for me. But let me tell you something. When I sit, it hurts more.
Mm.
If I get up and I move and I just walk, even if I just walk slowly and a short distance, it starts to feel better because our bodies are meant to, we're not meant to sit all day long on a
Mhm.
couch or at a desk. We're meant to move. And the more we do it, the better it is for us. So that's what I would say. Have your sneakers, get a partner, set your alarm earlier if you don't have time in your day. It does take a little bit of an effort. It makes, you have to do a little bit of an effort. I mean, I always say if it were easy, everyone would be in shape, right? We have to
Right.
take we have to take some time for it. If you could just do one sit up and have great abs, that would be great. It's not doesn't work like that. But also, what in life, Lynn, what in life do we have that's worth anything? Our home, our education, our families, anything, our careers. What do we have that's worth something that we didn't have to work for?
Yeah.
Nothing,
We've
unless you won
just
the
got our
lottery.
health. Yeah.
Yes. So why do people act like their health isn't something that's worth it, that they shouldn't put time into? It's something we need to do, and it affects every other area of our lives. How we show up for our spouse, how we show up for our children, our grandchildren, our jobs, our life, our friends. What we do to make ourselves healthier affects every other element in our lives.
Yeah. That's so true. That's so true. So I know that you have a video that I'm going to share the link in the show notes. Where else or what is the best place for people to find you?
Probably my YouTube channel because I have all of my podcasts there, just like
Mm.
you. I do video with my podcast, or my podcast also, if you like to listen instead, it's called Living Well with Robin Stoloff. Or my YouTube channel's the same name, Living Well with Robin Stoloff. I post all my video of my interviews with my guests, and it's not just about fitness, it's about any kind of living well. I talk to sleep experts, I talk to people who
Mm.
have overcome tragedies in their lives, people from, positive energy from people that want to give advice to others. It's just a nice, podcast. It's pretty short, usually around 20 some minutes. So Living Well with Robin Stoloff. And then you can find me on social media under that name as well, Living Well, or the other one is Health Update. They're my short segments that I do.
Okay, awesome. So it's been great to chat with you. I really appreciate all that you shared with us today, and especially your enthusiasm for living healthy, the whole
It's my
longevity
pleasure, Lynn.
thing.
It's my mission. It's my goal in my life. It's a lifelong passion of mine. I just feel so honored to be able to hopefully make a difference
Mm.
in my little corner of the
Mm.
world.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Robin.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
You have been listening to the Living Life Naturally podcast, where we're on a mission to inform, inspire, and encourage women to live their best life confidently, joyfully, and freely from what's been holding them back. For show notes and free resources, visit holistic-healthandwellness.com. And I'd be delighted if you'd follow us on socials to connect further. If you enjoyed this show, why not share it with your friends? If you found good value, chances are they will too. And of course, a 5-star review on iTunes is always greatly appreciated, as much as I appreciate you listening. So until next time, live life naturally and joyfully.